From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
American Door Company has been family owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Well, good evening, everyone. Just want to give you a friendly reminder that I do have a free Weather NorCal app. If you have an iPhone, it's on the App Store. And if you have an Android, you can go to a Google Play Store and just search for Weather NorCal in either one of those stores and it will pop up. You download it for free and you are good to go. Everything, pretty much everything offered for Weather NorCal can be accessed right from your mobile phone, including videos and the live streaming channel. Hey, taking a look at Elk Country just north of Trinidad. Is that a little sunshine peeking out, just kind of illuminating the red schoolhouse out at the Elk Country Trinidad area? Well, yeah, it looks like some sun is beginning to peek out. In fact, oh, look at that. Looks like it just kind of popped up. Some elk showing up there as well. And check this out. We go out to Crescent City and you got some clouds off in the distance here, but it did clear out as well. Now, more clouds will be moving in tonight with eventual chance for thunderstorms, which we'll take a look at that here in just a second. And taking a look at the valley, of course, we've seen a little bit of clearing out there as well, but kind of raining off and on in parts of the valley here. Not a ton of rain, but certainly some rain nonetheless. So we do have drier and slightly warmer conditions here as we go into the next few days. But by the end of the week and through the weekend, we got a chance for more showers in the forecast, including the valley. And it looks like as we go into the middle of next week, we'll be looking at drier conditions and not to mention warmer conditions as well. Let's take a look at that radar throughout the day today. You can see the bulk of it did push through the coast, but then we saw some make its way to the valley. First for the north end of the valley, then later in the day we saw it come through the south end of the valley as well. And now things are kind of drying out behind that push of rain right here, but we're beginning to see some more redevelopment out here off to the west of Crescent City. And you saw that on the camera, those clouds coming in from the west. We could eventually see some thunderstorms popping up. I suspect especially in Del Norte County, parts of northern Humboldt County, and not to mention Siskiyou and maybe even parts of Modoc County as well. So this is something that could get active, but it's going to be in the overnight and early morning hours. Now before we get to that, I want to show you some of the rainfall totals we've seen since Monday morning. And as expected, and as I've been talking about really before the storms even arrived, is that most of the rain is on the coast, which is about basically 3/4 to over an inch in many spots from basically Eureka southward, northward that is. South of Eureka, not as much, but still about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch for some of the inland areas. And you can see Hoopa, Willow Creek, close to an inch. But then notice you head east of that, we start seeing less, about 1/4 of an inch for Weaverville, Hayfork. But look at that, Ruth, about 3/4 of an inch. Then we head to the east, about 1/4 of an inch for Redding, but elsewhere really not as much. You can see nothing really reported, maybe a trace out in Corning and Willows, 200s out in Chico, about 100th in Oroville, and really not much as you start heading off into the eastern mountains as well. So that was the trend and that was pretty much expected. Colder air getting wrapped up in that area of low pressure. And this right here is cold and unstable air that's going to be moving through Northern California, bringing some of us a chance for thunderstorms overnight. This right here is what will be here by Friday and Saturday. It will swing down to the south and then move over us sometime around Friday night and into Saturday. All right, so let's take a look at futurecast for the rest of the night tonight. Here's 10 o'clock tonight. So again, you can see the thunderstorms that are beginning to pop up. As I mentioned, Del Norte, Humboldt, even Trinity County, forgot to mention that. There you can see out towards Siskiyou County and Modoc County, but of course should remain dry for the most part in the valley and not to mention even in the eastern mountains. All right, let's take you into about 6 a.m. on Wednesday. That is when we start to see things begin to wrap themselves up a little bit, but here's still a chance for some light showers lingering in the early morning hours for the north coast, western Siskiyou County, and we're seeing some snow mainly above 9,000 feet before you start seeing some of those snowflakes. And then we take you into noon. Looks like still a few lingering showers for parts of the north coast before it entirely dries out by the afternoon tomorrow. Clearing skies as well. Looks like some sunshine for the second half of the day in the valley. Taking to Thursday, also looking at some sunshine, but eventually some clouds moving in as we go into Thursday night. And there you can see Thursday night, some of those clouds, but dry. Now, we're beginning to see better and better at least agreement in the long-range forecast models that sometime around Friday evening, Friday night, we may start to see another round of showers begin to move in. Now, it could quite possibly impact parts of the valley as well. But I do expect at this point that the valley won't really see anything, and probably sometime until late in the day. So if you have any outdoor plans, you might be able to get them done before the rain moves in late in the day into the evening hours on Friday. And then, of course, the eastern mountains still looking pretty dry. Now, this is where we're starting to see a lot of disagreement in the long-range forecast models. But overall, there's a chance for off and on showers through the weekend. And then as we take you into early next week, maybe around Monday, Tuesday, maybe another chance for some rain in the forecast. Now, there's been a lot of questions about whether or not it's going to be cloudy for the solar eclipse on Saturday morning, which is going to occur shortly after 9 o'clock Saturday morning. As it stands right now, unfortunately, it looks like we may be looking at some clouds, and that could create some problems for viewing the eclipse. Only time will tell at this point, but as it stands right now, it looks like there is a chance to see some clouds. And then you can see by Wednesday, toward the end of next week, things will begin to clear out again. So we're kind of getting in that time of the year where we kind of see a series of storms move through, it kind of clears out, then another series of storms move through. But overall, we're just not seeing any major storms. We're not seeing major wind events, we're not seeing tons of rain. And, that's kind of a nice way to sometimes get that rain. It's just kind of a nice steady rain sometimes, and it doesn't really create any problems. Take a look at the precipitation outlook over the next 6 to 10 days. It is in the area of green here that we have, which means that we do have a better chance of seeing above normal rainfall. So yeah, some good chances. But after that, it then goes over to drier than normal conditions, most likely going into the long range. And by the way, as I mentioned, that colder air getting wrapped up in that area of low pressure, once things clear out after tonight's system, we're going to be looking at a very cold night, Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. And some areas could quite possibly drop below freezing for a long enough period where it could damage crops and any kind of vegetation, sensitive vegetation, right? So that's for last in eastern Plumas County and extreme eastern portions of Modoc County. So be aware of that. Now, it's not just these areas we've got to be concerned about. So, when we start seeing those kind of temperatures, we can't rule out all of Modoc County, maybe even parts of Siskiyou County and the mountains in general, especially to the north and east. All right, here are your wave heights, man. They are getting high, right? Look at this. 15, 16, I even saw a thing at 1.17 feet. So this could be a problem. And of course, this is why we do have a small craft advisory, at least for the immediate coast. Now, we are going to be looking at those winds from the west at 5 to 10 knots, waves from the northwest at 14 feet at 14 seconds. And there you can see your sunrise and your sunset for tomorrow. Okay, so let's take a look at our forecast for tonight. It's getting pretty chilly tonight, although with the clouds in place, it'll be a little bit more difficult for us to really cool off a whole lot. Temperatures in the mid-50s, upper 50s for the valley, and looks like for the coast, you've got the temperatures in the 50s here as well. Now, again, you can see tonight, we could be looking at the potential for some thunderstorms, especially around Crescent City, Klamath, and it's not out of the question for Siskiyou and even Modoc County, seeing some of that activity as well. So for tomorrow, here's what we've got. More clouds for the coast. I think at least through the morning hours, we could still see some lingering showers and sprinkles here for Del Norte and Humboldt counties in particular. But look at this. We're seeing things begin to clear out here for the valley with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures will be back into the 70s, around 70 degrees for that daytime high in the valley. And actually could get a little bit warmer than that, depending on how much clearing we do see. And then temperatures reaching somewhere in the 50s and even some 60s in there for the eastern mountains. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. And so here's what we're going to do. Let's talk about Wednesday. Wednesday is dry. We'll continue with dry conditions on Thursday. Now, sometime late in the day Friday, I think Mount Shasta could see some showers. El Turris most likely dry through the entire day on Friday, and not to mention Susanville in the eastern mountains. Now, I've got a chance for rain for everybody on Saturday. As it stands right now, it looks like Sunday will be dry, but that's not guaranteed at this point. And then as we take you into Monday, I think that's when we have a better chance for seeing rain again, and maybe even some leftover showers for places like Siskiyou County on Tuesday of next week. Now for the valley, we're looking at temperatures increasing a bit with the dry conditions through Friday. Now, as you saw on Futurecast, we did see the potential for some rain in the valley Friday, but I'm going to hold off until late in the day Friday night. and better chances kind of going into Saturday. But even then, it doesn't look to be all that impressive as far as rain is concerned. For now, I'm keeping it dry on Sunday, and then yes, another better chance for seeing some rain here for Monday of next week. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for the coast, and this is where we're going to see better chances for showers here over the weekend as well. Friday, could see some as early as Friday, not to mention the inland areas and Weaverville, Trinity County. Saturday, we got showers in there. Again, for now, it looks dry on Sunday. Both of the long-range forecast models, the European and the American forecast model, for now, are keeping Sunday dry. And then Monday, we've got some rain in there, and then maybe, especially for the coast and inland, another chance for showers quite possibly going into Tuesday of next week.